I'm Courtney. We're a family of 5 trying to grow as much of our own food as we can, and we raise chickens. Our kids wanted to name our little backyard farm, so we did. It's called Heart Pine Farms. Pole bean seeds are quite possibly the easiest seeds to save for future plantings, which we think that's a big deal because these plants can provide a lot of nutritious food from a small amount of space since they grow vertically on trellises. They'll really climb up any type of structure you provide. They're super easy to grow, especially in moderate temperatures that aren't too hot or too cold. And with groceries so expensive now, pole beans are a great choice that can save money while their seeds provide security. So pole beans can be eaten 3 different ways. The first way is obviously fresh, in which case you'd want to harvest them when they're young and tender like this. That's when they really have the best flavor and texture. They can also be eaten shelled. The shelling beans can be used in recipes, in which case you would harvest them when they're more mature like this. You can tell the difference. And you just pick out the fresh shell beans right here and use them in recipes. The third way is eating the dried beans. So you use the dry beans, you'd save them and use them in future recipes like chilies and things. And these are the beans that you'd want to save for future plantings if you're interested in saving seeds. Beans are self-pollinating. That means the pollination occurs inside the flowers before they even open. That also means that cross-pollination is really rare even if you're growing different varieties of beans in your garden. So if you're growing an open pollinated variety of beans in your garden and you would like to save the seeds to plant the plants next year, and you're hoping to have the exact same beans on those plants and maintain that specific variety, you're pretty much guaranteed that to happen. That's why saving bean seeds, one of the reasons why saving bean seeds is so easy. We've been growing rattlesnake pole beans on this trellis in between 2 of our 4x8 raised beds this summer, but summer is coming to a close, so we've been leaving some of these beans on the vine to dry out so that we can harvest some of the seeds to save for next year. Here's a look at the trellis that we use to grow our pole beans on. It's just 2 pieces of cattle panel. It's attached into the ground, just pressed into the ground, and then stretched across in between these 2 raised beds. We just planted a late summer planting of carrots for a fall into winter harvest. But anyways, you can see that these bean plants are still doing pretty well. At the beginning of the summer, it was really hot and dry with heat indices above 100. Beans like warmth, but not really hot. So now that temperatures have cooled a little bit, that's why they're doing much better right now. So we've been harvesting plenty of fresh beans lately to eat. However, fall is coming up, so we decided to leave some of these bean pods on the vine and let them dry out. And honestly, sometimes it's hard for us to keep up with harvesting beans. The beans that we didn't get to, there's no harm in just letting them dry out on the vine so that we can harvest the seeds for next year. That way, nothing goes to waste. You can tell that they're ready when you feel them and they're totally dried out and they make that crunching noise. These you can tell that they're done because you can hear that they're crispy, and the stem that they're attached to is also totally dried out. So these are definitely ready to be harvested for seed saving. You can tell that this one's not quite ready. It's still squishy. So you're looking for the crispiness. This one's not ready. We're just gonna harvest the ones that are ready and then we'll show you how we're going to save them. We picked beans from several different plants, which is the best thing to do when you're saving seeds. You always want to pick them from the healthiest looking plants. So there can be mold on the outside like this, but if you see any on the dried beans on the inside, like this one, just discard them. We only save the healthiest looking seeds. If you end up with lots of them, the dried beans can be saved and cooked in things like chili or soups or however you'd like to eat them. Oh, this is a really good looking one right here. This one, you can see it has mold on it and it doesn't look very healthy, so we're just gonna toss this one. Also, the bean plants we plan on composting, so nothing is going to go to waste here. After we're done removing the seeds from the pods, we're going to put them in a dry location out of direct sunlight, probably just inside on a shelf somewhere on this towel here. And we're going to let them dry out for about a week before we store them. We're going to put them in envelopes and keep them in a cool, dry, and dark location. And the seeds should be fine for up to 3 years. If you have lots of dried out beans that you're shelling, this is a really good way to remove the beans from the shells. Just put them in an old, like, reusable shopping bag and just start whacking them against the ground. And that will remove that will remove the beans from the shells really quickly. So you can take your hands and kind of squish them up good too, and then start whacking them on the ground again. It's really good to try to get them out of there. Okay, now we're just dumping everything out. Okay, now we're taking our leaf blower and we're going to blow the shells away and hopefully just leave the beans behind. And then you can just kind of pick them out by hand, but I think that's a pretty quick way.
Yes,
I think it works. Look at all those beautiful beans there. So these are rattlesnake beans. These rattlesnake beans are very similar to pinto beans, so I'm thinking really good refried beans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited about these. And we'll have plenty to save for next year. We think pole beans are fun to grow, and they can give you security in terms of providing a lot of food in a small amount of space, and also in terms of their seeds that can last for generations in your own family and circle of friends if you wish to pass them down. We hope you'll give it a try. Good luck and have fun.